I've been investing on Moomoo's platform since 2023 and honestly, so much has evolved since then. If you've watched my portfolio videos, you know I personally use a few platforms to invest my monies, but Moomoo's app is the one that I always go back to on a day-to-day basis to keep up with news, community updates, etc. This video will be an updated beginner's guide on how to use Moomoo's platform, how to buy, how to sell, the certain features that I personally use to invest my monies. And no, this video is not sponsored by Moomoo. I hope this will help all of you who are just starting out. Let's go. Before we jump into how to use it, I want to address the biggest question that most beginners have. Is it safe? Moomoo Singapore is a part of Futu Holdings, a Nasdaq-listed company. So this isn't some random new startup. They are backed by a large publicly listed firm. They're also licensed by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, in other words, MAS, which means they have to meet strict regulatory requirements in order to operate here. When I first started using them in 2023, 1 in 4 Singapore investors were on the platform. Today, it has grown massively, and chances are, if you ask a friend, they have probably heard of Moomoo or they are personally using them to invest as well. What I personally like is that they don't just give you a trading app to buy, to sell, to invest your monies in the different stock markets. They give you a place where you can actually learn and grow yourself as an investor. And that's what I use to gain more knowledge about what is an ETF, dividend investing, technical analysis, etc. I've spoken about this a lot, but there is the Learn section where you can go through articles, video tutorials. Over the past few years, I've seen them continuously roll out new features, provide support to investors, and not forgetting the 3 physical stores that they have set up in Singapore for you to go to if you ever need any help. So with that said, I hope that answers your question whether is it safe to invest on Moomoo's platform. So if you're completely new and wondering where to begin, I'll walk you through everything step by step from setting up your account to making your first investment. So let's dive into that. I mainly use Moomoo to invest in the Singapore stock market via the custodian account. Fees are pretty similar across all other low-cost brokers, but new users to Moomoo enjoy 1-year commission-free trades, and that's what got me started. Essentially, half the fees for all your trades during the first year. The number one thing that I would do after account creation is to switch off margin trading. If you top up $1,000, that is the only amount that you'll be able to invest. If you trade on margin, like a loan, you have to pay interest on it, but what's scarier with margin trading, in my opinion, is if your portfolio drops below the maintenance level, you may face a margin call to repay all of the loan. I personally switched this off and it looks a lot cleaner on the app as well. I do not leverage to invest. I invest only monies that I have. So in order to switch off margin setting, all you need to do is to just open up the app, go under Discover, press on Me, go into Settings, Accounts and Position, Margin Settings, and just switch it off over here. And once you have switched it off, if you go under Accounts, all you can see is total cash, withdrawable, and funds on hold. Compared to before when margin settings was on, I'll show you a comparison side by side. So after you've switched off margin setting, the next thing you want to do is to set up a direct debit authorization. This is a service provided jointly by banks and Moomoo. You only have to set this up once. Once you link your bank account to Moomoo, you can make Singapore dollars deposits directly on the app and your bank account will be automatically debited. Rather than doing a bank transfer, having to key in the details each time, or a pay now transfer, this is the fastest and most efficient in my opinion. Once you have the DDA set up, when you make a deposit, it essentially just takes a minute or 2 before your funds come in. Now let's move on to how to buy a US share. Before I show you how to make one-off buy trades in the US stock market, 2 features I think are great for beginners and is what I use personally is the regular savings plan, allowing you to automate your investments, be it whether is it monthly, every 2 weeks, or even daily. Automate it so you can focus on other things in life. This part of the tutorial I'm about to show you is a recent portfolio that I've set up for my nieces. Number 2 is the Dividend Reinvestment Plan. If you invested in US stocks that pays out a dividend, turning this on basically means that whenever you receive a dividend, Moomoo will reinvest it back into that stock. Just take note that this is only available for US stocks. Now, on some other platforms, you actually need to set up 2 separate standing instructions. One is to transfer money into your brokerage account. Second is then set up the recurring buy order for the stock or ETF. That's 2-step. But with Moomoo's regular savings plan, I can set up everything directly in the app. Here's how it works. First, I create a regular savings plan. Then I select the paying account. In this case, I choose my bank account. This part is important because if you choose Moomoo's margin account, you still have to manually fund the margin account before the scheduled buy date. So I prefer linking it directly to my bank account, and there's just automation happening in the background. There's also a difference in minimum amounts. If you selected margin accounts, the minimum buy is USD $5. For bank accounts, the minimum is SG $10. Currency exchange happens automatically when the investment is made, and you can choose the frequency as well. Weekly, every 2 weeks, monthly, and even daily. For this portfolio, I chose monthly, set it once, let it run in the background. As of filming this video, the investment for March has already been made. For US market, there are lifetime commission-free trades. However, platform fees will still apply. For fractional share trading, meaning lesser than one full share, the fee is 0.99% of the transaction value, capped at 99 cents per order. Cost exchange-related fees will still apply. So this is my first RSP purchase that was done on 5th February. $150 directly deducted from my bank account that I chose. Currency exchange happened automatically, and the total fee incurred was $1.08. No manual FX conversions, no additional steps. User experience is extremely important to me when choosing an investment platform, especially as a beginner. When I first started investing in 2023, I realized something. If the friction is high, you'll naturally delay investing. You'll postpone the transfer, you'll forget to convert currency, and then you'll skip a month. It happened to me before. I wasn't perfect from day one, and that inconsistency matters more than small differences in fees. Some platforms may offer more exchanges, slightly better FX rates, or more advanced features, but if the user experience is difficult, especially when you're just starting out, it may not be worth it. The best platform is the one that allows you to stay consistent. Just use the RSP calculator to get a gauge. What if you had stayed consistent with investing since 3 years ago? Just an example to illustrate this. 100 USD a month invested in a broad markets index fund ETF, the portfolio growth is 25%. Of course, past return is not an indication of how the markets will perform 20 years later. Investing returns are never guaranteed. So this is how you make one-off buy trades. Say for example, the stock market dropped quite a bit and you want to make one-off investments instead of the regular savings plan that you have already set up. So go into whatever stock that you're looking at. This is no recommendation to buy whatever that I'm pressing into, but all you need to do is just press trade, buy, and if you see the session right now, it's under 24-hour trading because it's not US market open timing yet. But if you press on that, you'll be able to see that you can trade pre, post market, regular trading hours, overnight trading, and 24-hour trading. Order type, you can set whether is it limit, which means you're buying at a specific price, or market price when the market opens. But because now it's out of market timing, I can only use limit. Set the specific price that you're looking at, whether you're buying 1 shares or you want to buy $100 worth, you can also indicate accordingly. As long as demand meets supply, your order will be filled. If you want to check on the fees, you can just press on this button over here to see the trade preview, and it'll show you how much fees you're actually paying. Press buy, and once you have a supply that meets your demand, your order will be filled. That's it. Making a buy trade in the Singapore stock market is pretty similar to what we did earlier. Just press on the stock that you're looking at, whether is it a limit order or a market order. Odd lot means you're buying under 100 shares. Usually, I would make a trade, whether is it 100, 200, 500 shares. I wouldn't choose an odd lot order because it's harder to buy and sell based on the price that you want. Let's say, for example, right now it's $2.21. If it's odd lot, you're usually buying at a higher price. So set the quantity that you want, for example, 500 shares of this. And if you press the same button, you'll be able to see trade preview and the fees you're about to pay. Once you're ready, just press on buy, key in your password, and once it's filled, you will receive a notification as well. So that's about it. Unlike before, I do not use Moomoo Cash Plus. I have about $200 sitting on the platform right now. Yes, I know it doesn't earn anything, but because interest rates are so low these days, it really doesn't matter to me. Whenever I want to make a trade, I deposit via the DDA. It's almost immediate, so there is no reason for me to leave any extra amounts on the platform. But if you do have a significant amount sitting there for some reason, definitely something to look into while you wait to deploy money into the stock market. These monies are invested in money market funds, earning you some form of returns. And when you're ready to deploy, with the Smart Save function, you don't have to manually redeem it to trade. Though if you're looking to use this, you have to switch on margin trading. That's your beginner's beginner's guide to getting started on Moomoo's platform. If you ever have any issues, there is always the live chat function, or better yet, head down to their physical store to get some help. Spend your free time exploring the platform. There's just so much knowledge all in one place. The Learn tab to explore new investment topics, specific stocks news, and community page, learning from others and current affairs as well. Right now, I'm saving up cash, so I'm not actively investing to build my Singapore stock portfolio, which I do on Moomoo. But every month, $150 goes into my niece's portfolio. I'll link that video up above and down in the description box below if you want to make reference. If you have any questions, you can leave it down in the comment section below. If you want to sign up for Moomoo, I do have a partner exclusive deal available down in the description box below as well. That's all I have for today's video, and as usual, have a great week ahead. I hope this helps. Bye bye.